Hey, now we are back, and I want to call your attention to Matthew chapter 15. And in Matthew chapter 15, we're going to go ahead and do verse 23. Matthew now picks up this, and only Matthew and Mark has this account. That's why I encourage all of you who in this lesson today, part two of I'll Take the Crumbs. And so here in Matthew chapter 15, verses 23 through 28. And these are the words that was recorded out of Matthew. But he answered her not a word. And his disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she cries unto us. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But came she and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. But he answered and said, It is not meet for the children's bread, and to cast it into it to the dogs. And she said, True, Lord, yet the dogs eat the crumbs which falls from the master's table. And then Jesus answered and said unto her, O woman, great is thy faith. Be it unto thee even as thou wilt. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour. That very hour. And like I said, this is quite an interesting text that we have been studying here now on point two. And hopefully I can get this done within a few minutes, the 10 minutes that I have left to finish this up. Now remember to review the lesson. We were talking about the woman who asked Jesus and besought him. Now Matthew gives us more details that she cried out uh, behind the disciples, and perhaps Jesus was up front walking, and she became notice of her desire. And it is quite interesting. Remember, I said in our point one of our lesson that her determination was very, extremely, very strong. And so now we have Matthew giving his point of view, and it is quite interesting that when we, uh, during the homily of the gospel, and only Matthew and Mark record this incident, as we look at this, and Jesus at this border country into Tyre, as he goes now to cross the path, and Matthew said the woman was from Canaan in verse 22, and saying that she cries here with mercy, O Lord, thou son of David, my daughter is grievous with the devil, which she said that she's afflicted and she is terribly being assaulted by the devil, tossing her and in any given way. But we also notice in verse 23, as we said, uh, but he answered nothing. He says nothing to her in that terms of her pleading. And remember that at the same time, in this same hour, as Jesus now going to the house of the lost house of Israel, and that was his purpose of coming on this earth to the house of Israel to offer the gospel. He did not preach there, he did not do any healing there. But here is a woman who had humility, who had faith, who was determined to get a blessing from God, and whatever she was able to receive from the Lord. And I said earlier that she was willing to receive the crumb. And what was now interesting here in our text is that she worshiped him, and meaning that she threw herself into a position where she brought her heart, and now her faith begins to manifest itself, and God saw the greatness of her humility, her humbleness in her heart. And even though she was not a believer, this is very interesting, my brothers and sisters, that God has a time and a place, even though he had come for the lost house of Israel. But now she presented herself that she had a place herself, and she wanted to know where she stood in this getting her daughter healed. And she knew that he was the only one that is able to do it. And I'm so happy that even in this text that Jesus spoke the words to her. And even though that Jesus used the common language of calling her a DOG as to test her faith, that if the house of Israel would not receive him, and even after he had come to do what he was to do, he was still letting her know that it would be available to her at a certain time and a moment. But even when she threw herself to the mercy seat of God, Jesus saw not the outside of the woman as being a Greek or a Canaanite or any other nationality. He saw the woman's heart. He saw her great faith, even though she has no claim of Christ or any claim of what God and His purpose and His divine plan. Oh, this is so beautiful. And I thought I would just wrap that up to you here in Matthew. And even if you can use it in your lesson or you can use it in your thought, it will be greatly be used as a very good tool of different people of walk of life. Perhaps you may know someone that may be in this kind of predicament. And if you got a great thought from this, I am pleased to offer this to you as to give me your response. And so far, I've had 12 to 13 viewers on this. And if you can view this, for those who are on Facebook, and to all of my friends and family, respond to it. This is just something that I'm just doing a project on, and I thought I would give you some insight on this text. And so today, as we looked at Matthew chapter 15, and Matthew chapter 15, 21 to 28 give us another view, but the same event, and that we can work with it and see some different points in what we can do with the text and how the beautiful of God's word comes out and so created. And God bless you and God keep you. I'll be back, and perhaps I'll just be talking some other issues and wanted to just to communicate with all of you who would love to respond. Don't forget, at the bottom of the blog, just put your comment, and I appreciate your words of you. God bless you, and have a good day.